Today is Tuesday, April 7th, and this is our read aloud for Out of My Mind. Chapter 14. The Monday following Thanksgiving break, Catherine and I roll into Mrs. Gordon's language arts class a few minutes before the bell. It doesn't look like I'll ever find out what Rose really thought about the trip to the aquarium, because she clearly has more exciting things on her mind. Everyone is huddled around her desk. Awesome! I love the color. I didn't know they come in lime green. Oh man, that's what's up. How many songs have you downloaded so far? What's your new email address? You got IM? Videos? Ooh, that's so tight. I wish my mom would get me a laptop like that. I roll closer. Rose is showing off a brand new laptop computer. I can get on the internet and find stuff for school and type up all my homework, she's telling the group around her. I've already uploaded pictures of my dog and I've got my own MySpace page. I just shake my head as Catherine takes me back to my usual place in the back of the room. A laptop. I'm still pointing to words and phrases that Mrs. V and my mother have taped to a board that's strapped to my wheelchair, and Rose has the internet. I guess that means the whole universe at her fingertips. I close my eyes, trying not to cry, dreaming of the perfect melody-made computer. First of all, it would talk. Ho ho ho, yes. People would have to tell me to stop talking. And it would have room to store all my words, not just the most common ones that have gotten pasted on my plastic board. It would have big keys, so my thumbs could push the right buttons and it would connect to my wheelchair. It would not have to be lime green, though. I open my eyes with the start. Such a thing has to exist, right? Or something like it? Maybe? I grab Catherine's arm and point to Rose's computer. Me too. I punch on my board. I do it several times. You want a computer like Rose's? Catherine glances over at Rose's laptop. It looks really nice. Even I don't have one as cool as hers. No, I point. Wait, you don't want a computer? Catherine sounds confused. I have learned to be patient with people. Once again, I point to Rose's computer and then to the words, me too. I search all over my communication board and the words better, nicer, and cooler just aren't there. So I point to good, then go to the alphabet strip and then jab at the letters ER. Good, I sound like a doofus. Oh, Catherine says finally. You want a better computer than Rose's? Yes, I pound on the board. Then I point to for and me. I get it, Catherine cried. You want something specially designed for you. That's just plain brilliant, Melody. I spell out D-U-H, duh, and we laugh. Miss Gordon starts class then, reminding everyone about due dates for the biography project. Tomorrow, she announces, class will meet in the media center so that you can make final choices about the person you will write about. And next week, we will begin making outlines of your life stories. Any questions? Connor, always the class clown, raises his hand. I found out the guy who invented the flush toilet was named Thomas Cooper. Can I do my report on him? Kids crack up. They lose it. Rodney laughs so hard his whole face turned red. Miss Gordon shushes Rodney and the others. Sorry, Connor. I get this request every year. The flush toilet was invented in 1596 by John Harrington. No funny name. Do you still want to research him? Connor looks deflated. Nah, I guess I'll stay with the folks who started McDonald's. If I've got to spend a lot of time looking up stuff, burgers are better than toilets. Rodney tries to bust out laughing again, but Miss Gordon silences him with a look. Who will you choose to write about? Catherine asks me as Miss Gordon walks around the class talking to students about their projects. I think for only a minute. Stephen. Hawking. I spell out. Stephen Hawking. I want to know how he does ordinary stuff like eating and drinking. After all, he's a grown man. Does his wife put him on the toilet? He has kids. How does he manage to be a dad? And I want to know about his talking devices, the super cool computers that help him talk and do really hard math problems like finding black holes in space. I tap out the question for Catherine. Computer for me? Question mark? I have no idea, she replies. Let's check it out. Chapter 15. The next morning, we get the first snowfall of the season. Big, fat flakes fall outside the windows of room H5. Freddie zooms over and touches the window. Nice, he says. Mrs. Shannon rolls all of us closer so we can watch the snow accumulate on the grass and trees. It's really pretty. Even Jill seems to relax. We gonna play in the snow? Asks Maria. No, Maria, it's too cold to play outside. But guess what? It's getting closer to Christmas. Maria cheers. I've heard it's some sort of a tradition round here to decorate this old styrofoam snowman. Mrs. Shannon continues. She makes a face as she pulls Sydney's head out of its box. Maria starts to hug it, but Mrs. Shannon stops her and says, I believe in the smell of fresh pine trees at holiday time and real candy canes and popcorn garland. Tomorrow I'm bringing in a real tree and we're going to make it beautiful. Freddie and Carl slap palms. Maria looks disappointed for a moment, but she seems to forget about the snowman as Mrs. Shannon gives everyone a soft piece of chocolate candy. She wisely stuffs Sydney back into its box. While Mrs. Shannon shows the rest of the class how to make paper snowflakes, Catherine and I sit together in front of the one clunky classroom computer and do web searches on communication devices. It's so slow. Sometimes it gets jammed up and stalls and we have to reboot it and start all over again. Room H5 always gets the big old leftover computers that the other classrooms no longer want. Catherine and I research all kinds of electronic talking and communication devices that have been designed for people like me. Lots of them seem as clunky and awkward as our room computer. Some look really complicated. All of them are expensive, like crazy expensive. Some of the websites don't even list the prices, like they're afraid to specify how much the things cost. That's always a bad sign. The devices that use standard computer keyboards wouldn't work. I'd have no way to hit the individual keys. I need something that would work with just my thumbs. We find adapted computers, talking boards that speak the words, push button systems, and even devices that work with blinks or head nods. Finally, we find something called a MediTalker that looks like a possibility. It has spaces big enough for my thumbs to get into and millions of words and phrases built into it. I watch an online video of a boy about my age using one, and even though he clearly has no voice of his own, this little box lets him tell all the details of his recent birthday party. I get so excited that my legs start kicking and my arms start flailing and I look like some kind of crazy human helicopter. Catherine prints out the information and tucks it into the book bag that is attached to the back of my chair. Good luck, Melody, she whispers as she leaves for the day. When I get off the bus after school, Mrs. V is waiting for me as usual. I almost twist out of my seat trying to point to my bag to let her know I have something important in it. Hold your horses, Mrs. V says. Since when are you excited to do homework? What's got you all in a tizzy today?